Hey guys, we've all been in those situations where we're going through a transaction, right? And we look to the other person we're with and we go, wow, this is going bad. These people really don't want us here. They have no interest in doing anything but taking our money. Well, we're going to talk about that today because it's something that is out there and we need to address it. Stick around. Hey guys, Jeff Mason, your host, SimpleBiz360 podcast, SimpleBiz360.com. Thanks so much for tuning in to the show. And as you heard in the little preamble, we're really talking about things that we've all experienced where we know we're in the middle of a bad buy, right? Oh my gosh, we are like an intrusion to these people. They really don't want to be doing business with us. This is going sour. So we've all had those. Some of us have had a litany of those. And so we're going to ask you to draw on that eventually. But we're just going to highlight some things today that really showcase and can empower you to make some positive changes in your company and how you go about doing business to make sure that you don't make your customers feel like an intrusion. So eventually, you're going to be, we're going to ask you to just think about some of your own buying experiences. What was good? What was bad? Was it the product? Was it the way you were treated? Was it the way you were talked to or not talked to? What was in that process that made you feel like that was a bad buy, and so many of the times it's how you were treated, we find out. But we're going to ask just a series of questions today for you to eventually ponder. And they are as follows. Do you have policies in your company that are anti-customer and pro-employee? Kind of an important question. And I've been around some companies. I've worked for 32 in 9 different industries that literally have created some things that made it easy for the employee to do business, but transferred the hardship or the legwork or the time and motion over to the customer. And, if that's what you're doing, is that really something that's going to leave a customer with a feeling like, hey, they're taking care of me. They're really caring for me, or are they just processing me? They could, what's the deal here? So, ask yourself, are you making life easier for your employees or your customers? Is there a happy balance between those two? Which I think there should be, and there is. Now, I get it. Employees are the most important asset to many companies, and I understand that, and I applaud that, in fact. But, do you take it to the level where you make life easy for them and harder for the customer? Make sure you draw an even balance to where you could, reshape your internal and external policies so they're simultaneously good for both, right? Are you scrutinizing your transaction process in order to reveal components that alienate customers? I mean, do you have things baked into your order taking, order processing machine that are actually alienating customers? What do I mean by that? Where my wife would turn to me and say, Jeff, I never want to go through that door again. Okay, something happened there that alienated my wife. She doesn't want to go in there. What was that uncomfortableness that she was left with? There are plenty of people that say, I'm never going to go to that website again. That was the hardest thing in the world to try to do an order. Oh, those people were so aggravating. They never helped me. I was on the phone for an hour waiting for someone to pick up the phone. Then when I called up, no one apologized. It was just, there's no way I'm even touching these guys again. They could have the best product in the world. Not me. So somehow or another, that customer or potential customer feels alienated. So have you really become your guest? Have you sat in their shoes? Have you done enough of this scrutinizing to come up with answers for yourself of, hey, do we have little nooks and crannies of our business that are in fact alienating customers? So that's an exercise, right? Are you training your associates to do business with a smile? It may sound so trite, but are you sending that smiling, happy message that, hey, we're so glad you walked through the door? Not, oh my gosh, how quickly can I get you out of this door? I mean, that's it. Are you an intrusion or are you, an appreciated customer? So that's really, where we want you to think about. Are your associates genuinely hearing and then translating that hearing experience into listening to the customer? Are you really, as a business, listening to what the customer is asking for or complaining about, or what the issue is, or what they want? And it's so important, right? We've gone through, differences between hearing and listening. And so are you doing both? But most importantly, are you listening? Are you making eye contact with customers? Why? I mean, really? Why is that so important? Well, it is important because customers want to know that you're caring for them and that you're not processing their business. So why don't you just look at them and talk to them and make them feel comfortable that, hey, again, thanks for walking through this door. Man, we really appreciate seeing you today. How can we help you? And, let's take it from there, right? Is customer money treated like a handful of precious eggs that you're transporting without a carrier? Or is that order just one where, if you drop a couple customer eggs and they break, big deal, right? I mean, it's kind of a silly, analogy, if you will, but it's not, because that customer is a precious commodity. Their money are those eggs that they've worked hard for. Are you treating it like a breakable element that you don't want to break? Or are you just willy-nillying it? Are you just haphazard about things? Are you just careless? And you could care less if you break a couple of their eggs or not. So again, just think about it that way sometimes, and it could help reshape some of your policies. Are your order takers stewards of the customer transaction, or are they just processing the customer transaction? So here's that whole mentality and that ideology, that mindset of, is this a stewardship event in your company? Are you taking that hard-earned money and that time from that customer, and are you being a good caretaker of that, what they're giving you? So in other words, are you being a good steward? So some customer-friendly stewardship would be helpful, right? So do you even care about the customer experience? I mean, is this something that even comes to your mind? Is it something you're talking about in the boardroom? Are you training people about this? Are you even looking at this whole, because it's a term that's getting footballed around a lot. You see customer experience. We need customer experience people. Well, you're looking for a retail clerk, a cash register operator that's, called a customer experience manager. Okay, I get it. But, are you really understanding the totality, the, arena of the customer experience and how it can help you or hurt you? So again, these are things that, we really just want you to look into. Is a transaction just money for you? I mean, if it's just money for you, do you really expect a lot of repeat or referral business if you don't even show that you care? So are you looking at this as a one and done event, or do you look at every customer interaction with an opportunity for repeat or referral business? Well, wow, if you could reshape your company or your efforts to just shove aside that one and done stinking thinking and really embrace the fact that every time a customer comes in, you now have, especially if a potential customer you've never done business, you don't recognize this person. It's a great opportunity to create a healthy perception, one that says to that customer as they walk out the door, wow, I'd go back there again. That was really delightful. I really liked the way they treated me. I liked how they made sure I was okay with everything, made sure all my questions were answered. I'm going back there. That was great. And then if you go back a couple times, the likelihood of you, giving that favorable referral to friends, family members, loved ones, church members, associates at work. There's a very high probability of that. So again, just try to be conscientious. Are you a one and done mindset, or are you a futuristic mindset, if you will? And then are there ways you can improve the customer experience to send a loud and clear message that you truly care about leaving a favorable customer transaction impression? And there's ways to do that where you just make the customer feel special in the totality of the experience. Is that person, is the door shutting behind that person as they leave with them saying, wow, the whole ball of wax was just delightful. I really appreciated that company. So we want you to think. We really encourage you to find a quiet place, turn off technology, have a pen handy, have a notepad handy. Think about the things that were annoying in your life, about purchases that you've gone through that didn't go well. What were the stinky points about them? What were the points that you didn't care for? And examine your own business and your own business efforts with the taste of what was wrong in your personal buying experiences. Make sure that that taste isn't there, and it isn't intrinsic in the way you do business or the way your company does business. And just go through that exercise and you will uncover a bevy of opportunities to improve, to change things, to reboot some things, to modify, to make it better, and all with the angle of creating a healthier customer experience. It says, guess what, guys? You come in here, you go onto our website, and here's the deal. We are not processing your business. We are taking care of you. So this thinking process, right? We love it. Aretha Franklin, Queen of Soul, first female ever inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame out of Memphis, Tennessee. What a great contributor to the overall music genre. So many of us love her. I absolutely love her music. And she came out in 1968 on her Aretha Now album with a tune called Think. And we just want to leave it with you today. Again, we don't play the music. You'll see it up in the upper right-hand corner of our YouTube experience. It's a little card. Matt's got it up there. You just click onto that. That'll take you to the YouTube experience for that song. And it's a real fun way to end the show. And again, guys, if you want to improve the results of your business, we really encourage you to look at how you're doing business. If you can improve the how, you will improve the results. There's a direct correlation there, no question about it. And that creates the better customer experience. Keep those silent business killers away from your business. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next Thursday, 6 a.m. in the morning. And certainly you can catch our episodes anytime you want, but that's when we come out. So at any rate, guys, we will see you in 168 hours. We will be back with Matt and the group at home, Half Coast Studios in St. Louis, Missouri. See you next week.